I.S.U.P.K.
Now right now, I'm pretty sure you all been watching the news. You've seen all these black men being murdered. All these Hispanic men being murdered. These Hispanic and black sisters being murdered. These Native American women being abducted and raped and left for dead in the middle of some highway or some desert. Well, I want to tell you something. This has been going on since America was created and founded, so-called founded, by this Caucasian man, by this European, by this colonizer, by our slave master. Nothing has changed. It's still the same way right here in 2020. The only difference is that we have been so beaten down. We have been accustomed and used to, we have been desensitized to all this violence. Because as you can see right now, there are no protesters in Harlem today. There wasn't any protests in Harlem yesterday. There weren't any protests on the 4th of July when several kids were murdered all across the country. Protest when there's a when there's some type of gain or benefit, that's when there's a protest. Let me get the book of Lamentations, the 4th chapter. Believe it's verse 18. Verse 18, right? Because we live in a society where we are still being oppressed, where we are still being enslaved, where we're still being hunted, killed, murdered, lynched, shot by the same people who created law enforcement, who created the CIA, who created the FBI, who created the NYPD, who created this government, who created the legal system. We're still being murdered by these same people. You got that? Read.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 18. They hunt our steps, that we cannot go in our streets.
You want to know how they hunt our steps as black, Hispanic, and Native American men and women? You want to know why it is not safe to go out into the streets of Harlem? It's because the CIA has been flooding Harlem and other ghettos just like Harlem with drugs, with heroin, with cocaine, with crack, with K2, with weed, with Molly, ecstasy. Right? That's how they hunt our steps. Read that again.
They hunt our steps, that we cannot go in our streets.
You know how they hunt our steps? The FBI Terrorism Task Force labels you, black men, black women, Hispanic men, Hispanic women, Native American men and women as terrorists when you decide to stand up for your people. They label you as terrorists like they did to Martin Luther King during his movement when he was all about nonviolence. They did the same thing to Malcolm X when he was all about defending yourself when you are being attacked. They labeled both of them terrorists. The FBI was watching both of them, just like the FBI watches us when we tell you to stop killing each other, to stop selling drugs to each other, to stop prostituting yourselves, to get away from the lifestyle that murders you, like homosexuality and the gang culture. We get labeled as terrorists when we tell you that you should get away from the American society and way of life. Read it again.
They hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets.
You want to know how else they hunt your steps so you cannot go into the streets of Harlem? The NYPD harass you. They drive through your projects all hours of the day, slowly looking at you. You could be sitting down with your grandmother flying a kite and they will drive by slow and grill you to see what you're doing, to see what you're wearing. And God forbid you look like someone that they're looking for. Because they will jump out that paddy wagon, they will jump at that car and beat you before they ask you who you are. They will beat you senselessly. Then check your ID. Then say, sorry, you fit the description of a black man we're looking for, when all black men look the same. When all Hispanic men look the same. We have similar features. We can be 4 feet all the way to 7 feet. We can weigh 100 pounds all the way to 300 pounds. We all wear white t-shirts. We all wear black jeans, blue jeans. We all wear Nikes and Timberlands. So when they're really looking for that particular person, it's just an excuse to harass you. They hunt our steps in these streets where our children are not safe because they might get gunned down like Tamir Rice.
Right.
By the police. They might you might get shot walking up and down your staircase like Ikea Gurley. You might get choked to death like Eric Gardner. Or you might get handcuffed, laid on the floor, and have a knee pressed up against your neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, like George Floyd. They hunt our steps. It is not safe for us to go out into these streets. Keep going.
Our end is near.
Our what?
Our end is near.
Our end is near. You can see us, we're dying at alarming rates. Whether it's police brutality, whether it's drug use, whether it's gang violence, whether we're murdering each other, whether we're being tossed in prison and rotting there for decades, whether we're getting the coronavirus, whether we're getting AIDS, HIV, high blood pressure and cholesterol for eating all these things we're not supposed to, our end is near. Our end has been upon us since the beginning, since we stopped obeying the laws of God and started to sin. Keep going.
Our days are fulfilled.
Our what?
Our days are fulfilled.
Our days are fulfilled. Because it said if you decided to disobey the Lord, that all these different types of curses, these punishments, these plagues will fall upon you. And when you look around Harlem, you can see all these curses. You can see it is all being fulfilled. You can see our brothers earlier slumping over on this wall because they were smoking that K2. You can see our sisters walking around with 6, 7 children, all from different men. When a woman's supposed to be with one man for the rest of her life. Our days are fulfilled. Keep going.
Our end is come.
Our what?
Our end is come.
And our end is come just like the end came for Breonna Taylor, Tamir Rice, George Floyd, Amir Aubrey, that black man that was gunned down by that dad and father down south. Keep going.
Our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of the heaven.
Who's faster than the CIA? Who's faster than the FBI? Who's faster than the NYPD when they're coming to look for someone? It's never, hello officer, yes, 911. I need help, I need assistance, I'm being attacked. 3 hours later, they arrive. But let there be a cop shot, how quick those officers respond. Let it be how they're about to go raid a drug house, how quickly those officers assemble and got their SWAT uniforms on and got their gear on and ready to blow your door down. But let it be you in trouble. And it'll be 3 hours later and you're dead before the police come. Our persecutors are swift just like the eagle. They're quick to come and terrorize you, brutalize you, put you up against the wall, choke you out, stop and frisk you because they think you might have a weapon. Keep going.
They pursued us upon the mountains. They laid wait for us in the wilderness.
They pursue us no matter where we go. Whether you're up on the mountains, whether you're here in the suburbs, whether you're here in city, right here in Harlem, they pursue us. Everywhere you go, if you turn your head, you're likely to see a police officer. You're likely to see an unmarked cop car. You're likely to see a plainclothes cop that you don't know is a cop. You're likely to turn around and see two white guys looking at you and they're FBI agents. You might look up into the sky and say, wait, is that a bird? Is that a plane? No, it's a drone because the CIA is watching you and monitoring your movements.
Right.
They're swift like the eagle and they pursue you no matter where you go.
Nobody tell you cry. You know why? Because I never saw you before. But you a black man like me. And it's worth something.
My whole life was trying to find something to follow. Had loyalty, every man tried to borrow. Felt pain and a lot of sorrow. Got betrayed, so packed, I didn't even have my heart broke. Living confused, about to lose hope. Cops got me on the side of the road like a sideshow. Need an antidote before I croak. Now I'm setting fire to rhythm man blues, call this guitar smoke. Rebel with no cause, trying to find direction. The world got me vexed. Picked up a bad liquor habit that's hereditary from oppression. Felt like my life was on fire, trying to find an exit. Now look, 10 G's plus a good wreck. Sometimes a follower is a soldier, trying to find a good shepherd. Plus when you in hell, how do you excel? Wisdom the breath of life, I don't believe in fairy tale. Listen well to what I tell. No calling can cause pain. Something that a rebel knows very well. Can't you tell I was sent from the Lord?